Morning student. Now chapter number 2, adaptation in plants. First of all, the question is, what is adaptation? Adaptation means function of an organism to adjust the various habitat. It's called adaptation. It means what features does an organism need to adjust the environment. That is called adaptation. So in this chapter, we will learn about the various plants and the various features of their adaptations. First of all, look at the pictures. In the picture, there are many types of trees. Some are growing on the land. Some are growing on the water. So there are many difference in that trees or plants. First of all, look at the picture and just identify which plant or which tree grow on land and which on the water. It means which is land or which is water. The plant which grow on the land, we just write L below on the picture, and the plants which grow in the water, we have to write W. First, coconut tree. Coconut tree grow on the land. This tree also are growing on the land. This is water lily. This is water plant. Banyan tree means land, and lotus water. So these are the land and water plant. Now let's start the lesson. In a particular place, there are usually lots of different kinds of plants growing together. This collection of plants is known as the plants community. Community means group of anything. It means a group of animals. We can say group of plants or group of people. These are the called community. When the plants growing together, it's called plants community. Okay, now plants grow in places where the climate is suitable for them. They need right kind of soil too. Different plants need different climate condition. It means the plants grow in the place where the climate is suitable for. If the climate is not supporting the plant's condition, that plants cannot grow there. Climate is very necessary for the plants. They need right kind of soil too. It means soil is also very necessary for the growing of plants. Different plants need different types of climate or different types of soil. Some plants grow in a hot desert, and some in very cold place. You can easily see some plants can grow easily in the desert. Some plants grow in the cold place, but the place of plants that grow on the cold place, they cannot survive in the hot place, and the plants can grow on the hot place, they also cannot survive in the cold place. Some plants grow in the water, some underwater, some on hill, some even grow on other trees. The living dwelling place of plants or an animal is known as habitat. Habitat means living dwelling. It means how can an organism, how can a plant can survive in the climatic condition or environment. These are called the habitat. This is known as habitat. Okay. Sometimes the plants have to adjust according to the environment by the changing sum of their parts. These modifications in the structure and function of an organism to adjust the various habitat are known as the adaptation. I have explained what is adaptation. Adaptation is the modification or in the structure and function of an organism to adjust the various habitat are called adaptation. It means some plants grow in the hill, some plants grow in the hot desert. So these are modified by the special features which are helped to survive them in the climatic condition. These features are known as the which is cooperate to the plants to survive the environment are called adaptation. Let us study different habitat of plant. There are two main habitat of plant, terrestrial and aquatic. Terrestrial means land. Terrestrial means plant that grow on the land, and aquatic means water. Plant that grow on the water or under the water. It's called aquatic. First, terrestrial plant. Plant that live on land are called terrestrial plant. The word terrestrial comes from the word terra. Terra means land. That is why plants which are grow on the land we can call terrestrial. These plants are found in the following region. It means there are different regions for the different type of plant. First, plain. Second, mountain. Third, wet marshy area. And fourth, hot, dry and desert. First, plant in plain. Trees growing in plain have more space to spread out. They have flat leaves. These help water vapor to evaporate and keep the tree cool. When the climate is hot, flat leaf also help to trap the lot of sunlight. The plant which grow on the land, first type is plain. That plant which are grow on the land, their leaves are very it means flat, and these help water to evaporate to keep the tree cool. And when the climate is very hot, the leaves also help in the trap of sunlight. Trap means to catch. Underline the word trap. Trap means to catch. Some of these trees lost all their leaves at once. This happened mostly before winter in autumn season. It means in autumn season, the tree lost all the leaves. These trees are not evergreen because they lost their leaves in the autumn. That is why we cannot call these trees evergreen. As spring approaches, new leaves start growing. It means when the spring comes, then the trees started the leaves growing. The people and mulberry are trees like these. The perfect example of these trees like people and mulberry. Plants in mountain. The trees in these areas are called coniferous. Coniferous means leaves like a cone. That is why these trees can call coniferous. As they are tall and have shape like that of a cone, the conical shape help to snow to slide off their branches. Pine, deodar and fir are some such trees. Coniferous trees have the leaves like a cone, which is help to fall down the snow. They have leaves throughout the year and are called evergreen. We can call these trees evergreen because they have leaves in all the year. throughout the year they have green leaf. They do not fall their leaves at once. These leaves have modified to the cone which help to snow fall down. Tea plant grow in hilly region. Step farming is done in hilly region. These plants need heavy rainfall. Darjeeling and Assam are famous for tea gardens. Tea plants we can not grow at all the places because these plants required heavy rainfall. These plants mostly grow in the Darjeeling and Assam. That is why Darjeeling and Assam famous for the tea garden. Plants in coastal areas. Coastal areas are near to the sea. Coastal means near the sea. Write the meaning, near the sea. Coastal means near the sea. The water is salty and the climate is humid in these places. The trees grow in coastal areas are of coconut, pepper and rubber. This is because the climate and water here suit them. There are no much variety in the coastal areas because the climate of coastal areas is very humid and the water is salty of the sea. That is why very few plants or trees can found there, like coconut, pepper and rubber, because this climate is good for the coconut, pepper and rubber plant. That is why these plants can grow only the coastal areas. They are called evergreen trees. They do not shed all their leaves at once. This is also we can call evergreen because they do not shed their leaves at once. A few leaves are lost once every year. Only few leaves they shed every year. Not all the leaves at once, like trees like trees in the plain. Because the trees which are grow in the plains, they shed their leaves at once. That is why we cannot call them evergreen, but we can call them these trees, coconut, pepper and rubber, evergreen, because they shed a few leaves at once in the year. Not all the leaves or not so much leaves. Plants in desert. Water and rainfall are scarce in the desert. Scarce means very less. That's the meaning, very less. Water and rainfall scarce in the desert, so plants growing in the desert region have stem that can store water, like cactus. We know that there is very little rainfall in the desert and there is no enough water for the plants. That is why there are no much variety in the desert. There are few plants which have a stem to store water, like cactus. Some plants in the desert have long roots, so they are able to go deep into the soil to absorb water. Because there is not enough water in the desert, so plants have long roots which go under the earth, deep the earth, to get the water from the earth. Because there is no enough rainfall, no water in the desert. That is why plants are modified as the long root which go under the earth to get the water, and they have a stem to store the water. They have a protective covering in the form of thorns. Thorns means sharp pointed. Thorns means sharp and pointed. Sharp and pointed. You can see the leaves of cactus which have thorns too, which is the protective features of the desert plant that save the plant from the animal. Because of thorns, the animal cannot easily eat the plant. That plant have the protective features like thorn. Cactus, babool, prickly pear and date palms commonly grow here. These plants are modified for the growing in the desert plant, like cactus, babool and prickly pear and date palm. These plants can easily grow in the desert. Here are the pictures of the cactus, babool, prickly and date palm. You can see plants have the thick stem and thorny leaves which protect the plants from the animal. Plants in marshy areas. Marshy means wet. Marshy means wet. Gila, daldali, we can call also. A marsh is a type of wetland that is often submerged in the water. The plants that grow in this area generally have soft stem and are particularly adapted to these wet conditions. It means marshy areas means wetland, which are submerged in the water. The plants that grow in this area generally have soft stem and particularly adapted to these wet conditions. Generally, marshy receive their water from the surface, but the certain marshy receives this moisture from the groundwater. These trees that grow here that have aerial. Aerial means that the stem or the root are these tree can grow in the air, not under the earth. Mostly roots are grow in the earth, but the marshy areas, the trees which grow in the marshy areas have the aerial roots. Their roots come out to the earth and that grow in the air, that grow above the ground. The roots of the marshy areas, the roots of the plants of marshy areas grow on the land, not in the land. They take air from the atmosphere as the air does not reach the root. Because the area is wet, the land is wet, so the air cannot easily go under the earth. So to take the air, the roots of the plants come out from the ground and that grow on the land. The Sundarban near Bay of Bengal is wet marshy place in India. Mangrove grow here in the plenty. The main tree of the marshy areas is mangrove. Mangrove tree grow in the marshy area. The example Sundarban. Sundarban is the big marshy area near the Bay of Bengal. All the plants cannot grow in the marshy areas because air does not pass from these areas. That is why the roots of these area come out from the ground and that grow on the land to get the air. Mangrove grow here plenty. Plenty means very much amount, very high amount. Because mangrove tree easily survive in the marshy areas. That is why mangrove tree can grow easily in the marshy areas. You can see in the picture. This is the Sundarban near the Bay of Bengal. You can see the area of marshy area, region is very thick and very less sunlight, and air cannot easily passes through them. So these plant, mangrove plant or mangrove tree, can easily survive in the marshy areas, and not all the plant cannot survive in the marshy areas. So Sundarban near the Bay of Bengal is the best example of the marshy areas, and mangrove tree mostly grow in the marshy areas.